left side of the shop, we've got our 3 hoists. This is the 64B that we're doing the engine bay on and so forth. This is a TR3, we're working on some steering. And the 77B has been the exhaust system from hell. We've lost a couple gaskets on it. We're just changing some motor mounts on it now, hoping that it won't fail again. Our individual benches are along the side of the shop. My bench is up here at the top, and I keep all the taps and dies and special tools and so forth over here on my bench. Let's go upstairs for a minute. Let me show you the carburetor section. Up here we keep our exhaust systems, our manifolding and so forth, and over here Trevor does all of our carburetor work. Right now we've got H-type float bowls laid out for some reason. And I should show you a nice example of our carburetors here. Once they're all done and so forth, they look a lot better than they ever did when they came out of the factory. Real works of art. This is our gearbox room in here. We've got, since we only work on 3 or 4 different main types of gearboxes, MG A and B, 3 synchro and 4 synchro, and midget, web case and smooth case, and some T-types. All of our used parts are carefully categorized and labeled and so forth down here. Here on the bench we have a, what is this? This is an MGA gearbox, early type of gearbox, because it hasn't got a threaded flange in the back of the main shaft for the rear flange. It's not threaded. So we do all this work here. Here's our parts. We get our parts in mostly from Moss. And here's a new lay gear and a reverse gear and a boot and so forth. Will make this gearbox look absolutely beautiful by the time it's done. Let me show you our break room and some of the front offices, and then we'll let you guys go. Here's the break room, the employees' break room. We've got our refrigerator for lunches and so forth, our period Coca-Cola machine. Over here we've got a cabinet where we have all different types of the thermometer that I used in my yesterday's YouTube video, and a radiator comb for combing out the fins on a radiator. Every hotel room should have one of those for their in-window air conditioners. We have our glass, our fabric, our foam and so forth in here to keep it clean and keep it away from the mice, so forth. Let's go in and take a quick look at the offices. This is our library and Danny's office right now. We've got our MG books, some MG books over here. We got a complete set of Road and Track magazines. I say complete, almost complete. And then up against this wall over here, we have this enormous selection of club magazines. We have a complete collection of the Sacred Octagon and MGA and MGB magazines, and C Notes and the AMGBA magazines, a logbook, MG Enthusiast and Join MG, MG Magazine, Classic MG Magazine, MG World, British Car Magazine. Good grief. A lot of stuff. Nobody should have this much stuff. Let's go look at our used parts cabinet. In here, I've got this used parts cabinet. You know, you always collect stuff. Shops always collect stuff. Here's an interesting piece. Actually, this isn't from me. This is from Eric Jones of Riverside Motors. Gave this to me. You know, if you took a sledgehammer and beat on a connecting rod, it would take you a couple minutes to do this amount of damage. And yet this happened inside an engine probably within a second or two. This is catastrophic damage. In my cabinet here, I've got all kinds of bizarre and used pieces. Everything from faulty floats out of Stromberg carburetors to bearing shells that have fractured and broken up, and exhaust. Here's an exhaust valve that had broken up inside an engine, and valves that make that valve look pretty good. Valves with holes in them up here. So there's a wonderful, sometime we'll do a whole video of the used parts cabinet. This is a real extensive, a museum quality display here. Well, I'm getting too excited now, of all the terrible things that can possibly happen to your MG engine and car. Let me show you the girls' office. In here, my wife Caroline sits at this desk. I bought this desk from the Forest Hills School system for $5, and I bought this one from this desk from Kalamazoo College for $5. Real good deals. Around on the walls we have all kinds of MG posters. Here's our DOS computer running DOS 622 and some old DOS programs for our database, for mailing labels, our pinners and so forth. Yeah. And over here we've got this enormous selection of files. We have files that go all the way back, believe it or not, all the way back to 1971. And they're cross-referenced off cards here, so that if we ever see this car, if this car comes in the shop, GHN 3L56790, we can find it under the name that's on the card. An enormous amount of paperwork and hand entry and so forth. Well, of all the cool stuff I have here in the shop, this is one of my favorites. This is a Moss Motors invoice dated April 11th, 1969. I'd written to them and asked them which cam that they had available, which cam they were selling for the inside of the distributor for my MGTD, and they wrote back and said, sorry, no information available on cams, but if you know enough to spell all three, you know more than we do. That's my favorite Moss invoice. But I want to tell you, we've been in business since 1975. We work on MGs mainly, although we work on Triumphs, Austin Healey's, Sunbeams, and even the new Mini Coopers. So whether you have a part that you wish to send to us, a steering column, a gearbox, an engine, we've got a guy sending 2 engines from Hawaii. We've worked on bits and pieces from all over. Or you want to send us your whole car, drive it here, ship it here, put it on a trailer and bring it here. We've had cars here from Alaska, go figure, you know, here at University Motors. So we've been in business a long time. We know what we're doing. We've got a lot of time in service. We've got a lot of time in grade, and we please almost everybody almost all of the time. You know, we've got a real good guarantee on our work, and we do the very best we can, and nowhere else will you find such a wonderful combination of talent as you will here at University Motors. See you later. I'm gonna be a star.